Live with the Grapevine. This is the Kosher Spirit Review. Wait, we did the last one. You were over there. Let's switch spots.
Okay. All right.
And my re-emphasis of we don't edit anything, we just schmooze. We're trying to just teach people about great whiskey, great wine, and have people work on experiencing it with us in the best way possible. I work on not using redundant terminology going, it's like a space side, but has the smoke like an Islay, or it kind of is like a Kentucky bourbon, but has like the fruitiness of Appley in New York. That doesn't do anything for you as the audience. All that does is sound like we're a bunch of snobs that know a little bit about whiskey, and we're giving you reference points expecting you to know everything. What Karl and I, Duhoffman, my friend here, are going to do today with this really cool Japanese whiskey called
the Nikka Coffey grain
is teach you about its essence, some history, some tasting and smelling profiles, and also not just hold a glass up and go, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing. No. We want you to experience for what it is the best possible. So, Karl, from Anchor, tell us, first of all, why this doesn't smell like coffee, and what's going on with Japan making whiskey? Well, not a new thing, people.
Nikka Whiskey Company is one of the great whiskey companies of the world. 85 years they've been making whiskey in Japan. Some of the best whiskeys in the world, bar none. Most of the whiskey they make is distilled in a pot still, and it's made from malted barley.
Right.
This whiskey is a difference. This whiskey is
pot, this shape, and or this shape, and or like this and curled over.
That's right.
And then
this whiskey is actually made in a coffee still. Nikka Coffey was an Irishman that patented a continuous.
Sir, if you have any questions, we'll fire away. We're not editing anything.
There you go.
Continuous still.
A continuous still. It's like a big tall column. It's actually 2 columns, and instead of being a small little pot, it's this complex system that can make fantastic whiskey as well and much more efficiently. So basically, Nikka is calling this whiskey exactly what it is. It's grain whiskey made from predominantly corn and distilled,
cooked down brown sugars
in a column, a column still that was invented by a gentleman named Nikka Coffey. So this whiskey is very aromatic,
cooked down brown sugars,
big time.
Some seared citrus peels in that like sugar base.
Yeah, sort of like a kind of burnt orange nose.
Yeah, in a cool way though. Like, also another thing, the terms we're using, we're not trying to reduce it down to something. We're trying to expand what it is. When we say, like you say, like a burnt orange, cooked sugar, these are good elements to a whiskey. Whereas if you bit into that by itself, not just smelling it, it may not be the most tasty treat. But if you caramelize an orange, you on the other side of this camera may be getting the good aspect of what we're talking about, if you bit into it.
Absolutely. And then, this is aged in American oak barrels, sort of the same way that bourbons are. And so some of the same aromatics that you get from an American oak barrel are present here, kind of buttery. Buttery.
90 proof, very little heat on the nose. Only if you really like take a huge whiff in your nose do you get any heat at all. Just flavor and intensity.
Absolutely. And then the palate follows through what your nose is offering.
I definitely get some orange action going on. With a lot of like core orange. Not necessarily like if you squeeze it and you just smell juice.
No, the oils.
Yeah, oils and esters, big time. Really oily and estery, actually, which is really nice. I don't think they chill filtered this whiskey.
I don't think so. I mean,
I'm not sure if it identifies that, but
it doesn't.
It doesn't smell like they're doing that.
I mean, they may chill filter it a little bit, but the palate does not feel like
they're pulling stuff off.
That all the oils that might have been there are gone.
I already said a bracha, so I'm going to taste this without one. Karl's just blessed, period. What
do you think? I find again what you think of this kind of American palate, little vanilla, butterscotch, burnt sugar. Again, in some of that citrusy note, very citrusy on the palate.
The wood is so sweet. The wood I'm getting has this real sweet character, and I don't mean this is a sugar liqueur thing at all. if you've ever had a wine that is like a big broad Cabernet and the fruit is huge, or a Shiraz that's jammy, try to bring yourself over to a whiskey where the wood is sweet, but the drink is dry.
No, yeah, it's definitely not sweetened in any way.
No.
But you definitely have a very, very vibrant, sweet kind of, I think it's a very dancey kind of palate.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of dances on your tongue.
More butterscotchy than caramel. Like that, it gets that nutty tone. But you definitely still on a darker citrus, even almost like a blood orange peely thing going on.
I agree. Very, very vibrant, but rich.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's,
If you want to taste an Asian whiskey and you're a bourbon drinker,
I think it's an easy entry point.
this is gold entry. Let's go a little.
I mean, to learn
Yeah.
about Japanese
Yeah,
whiskey,
this
if you're a
is-
bourbon drinker,
Wow.
this is an easy reference point to get. I mean, it's distilled in a column like a lot of bourbons, aged
Super
in American
smooth.
oak, made predominantly from corn.
Delicious. Nikka Coffey grain, and there's also a coffee malt out there for the Scotch and or single malt lover, blend lover.
It is out there. It's not here yet, but
We'll find it, Rich.
someday soon.
From Nikka, the Nikka Coffey grain whiskey, 90 proof from Japan. With Karl Duhoffman, I'm Yehoshua Werth, live at the Grapevine. Kosher Spirit Review.
Thank you.
Chaim.
Chaim.
Go shut the camera off while people are still smiling back there.